Hey everyone, I just wanted to do this video to address a couple of things. The newbie witches, the title, the phrase, the saying, newbie witches. A lot of people use the terminology. Newbie witches probably use the terminology. But for me, I don't know, what do you guys think? I think I like the term pathling, and this is why. I don't think that anyone is a new witch. I think that we are all born with the ability to practice magic and to conduct magic and to be conduits for that energy. I think that we all have the ability to send out and receive from the universe messages, whether it be in spell work or petitions or however. It's just some of people are tapped into it and some choose to ignore it and never find their abilities or never hone their abilities. I think what is new is your path, because whether you're coming from another religion that didn't suit you or you're trying religion for the first time, you're new to the path. I don't think you're new to being a conduit of energy and having the ability to work with the energies. I think you're new to that path of doing it. So, I don't know. I tend to want to say pathlings instead of newbie witches. So, what do you guys think? Just throwing that out there. And then some other stuff that I wanted to address. The other thing I wanted to address is I'm thinking about doing a separate channel for the newer witches or the pathlings who are looking for help. A lot of people are. A lot of the seasoned witches, like I know the Lady Grave Dancer and Simply Gabrielle were talking today in their live chat about doing an online coven or doing something with teaching. And so there's a lot of people that are out there wanting to teach right now. And so I thought that maybe I would just do a channel. Because they're talking, the way that they're making it sounds like they're talking about doing like online seminars or online Google Hangouts or what have you. I was just going to throw up a channel that has just the basics of the path work, like how to open your circle or close your circle, or just basics in witchcraft, all the different paths, explanation of all the different paths, anything that newbie witches or pathlings want to see have me talk about. Personally, when it comes to things like opening a circle or how you interpret tarot cards, I think a lot of that just goes with your own intuition. That's the one thing that I really, really hope people get from my channel, is that we are not a cookie-cutter religion. We are not like the Catholics. We do not stand, sit, and kneel together. We're not like the Christians. You know, we don't all believe in the same thing. We don't all read from the same books. We don't all do the same things. We just don't. Not in this religion. It's kind of like being in a house with a real family, okay? Versus being in the house of a cult. Now, if you're in the house of a cult, everybody's going to eat together. They're going to sleep together. They're going to worship, and they're going to do it all the same way. Because the leader says so. That's Orthodox religions. But when you're in a pagan religion, you're living in a house with a family, and your family is on different schedules, and they believe different things, and they do different things differently than you do, and you might have some people you eat with all at the same time, or, you know, you might have some people where you all, you know, go to the same glen to worship or to pay homage or do your rituals, you know, but it's not always going to be the same thing. We're different people in the same house, basically, as opposed to being the same people in an occult house, you know, doing the same thing under mind control. We're all different. We're all free-moving, free-thinking beings in our religion, and there's no great leader that says so, or says not. So you need to find what works for you and have confidence. Build up your confidence. Don't let anyone tell you what's bad or what's good, what you should do or what you shouldn't, because all you're going to do is waste your own time. You're going to waste your own time abstaining from something that could really benefit you. I love one of my dearest friends, but we kind of were into the craft at the same time, and she was very Wiccan, and I wanted to explore a little more, but since she had been in the craft a little longer than me, I followed whatever she did, and everything was bad outside of Wicca. Everything was bad or dark. And voodoo was something that was taboo. You just didn't want to do voodoo because voodoo was dark, and voodoo would mess you up, and all this other stuff about voodoo, and it was just, you couldn't even look at voodoo books because they would taint your Wiccan mind or something. It was really that way. Like, it was really, her beliefs were really set. And so I followed her beliefs because she knew better than I did, I thought. But once I came into my own, I was like, you know what? Nah, I kind of like a little voodoo, kind of like a little hoodoo, kind of like a little this, little that. And I understand the cultures. I study the cultures. I respect it. You know? It's not something to be like, afraid of, you know? So don't let anyone tell you what can and can't be done in your path. Because then you kind of go from being the house in a family of free-thinking, living people to tiptoeing into the leader's house and being stuck at their tables, you know? Make your path your own. And I can't say it enough, but there's always going to be someone out there, well, how do you blah, blah, blah? And I'll be like, well, how do you blah, blah, blah? You know, if you blah, blah, blah that way, then that's the way that you do it. That's your answer. Another thing that I'm finding is that when you're new in the craft, you don't have a real imagination for what you can do spell-wise or practice-wise, because you're so ingrained in trying to stay in those lines and trying not to do anything wrong, and trying to you're so ingrained in trying to do the right thing that you don't think about what you want to do. You don't have an imagination for your craft. So one of the things that I can't stress enough is scribble all over that page. Do not be worried about coloring in the lines, because your scribbles are going to make their own picture. And it's going to be yours, and it's going to be unique to you. And only you'll be able to read into it what's truly there. So if you think that you can do a spell with a shoebox and some army men, by all friggin' means, go for it. Because why? Because you can. Whatever gets your point across to the ether, and whatever gets your spell out there, you can do it. If you think that you can, get yourself a job with an apple core and a shoelace off of your favorite pair of tennis shoes, then you can do it. Don't think inside the lines, because there are no lines to begin with. And it's infinite. Magic is infinite. And the ways in which to connect to deity are infinite. And that's the beautiful thing about this religion. So don't be afraid to do what makes you feel good, what makes you feel like your practice works. Just because person A over here and person C over here and person Z back there do something that's kind of similar, don't think you have to fall into that box. Because I guarantee you, you don't. And I guarantee you, all those three people might be doing something that looks the same on the outside, but definitely have their own enchantments, their own words, and their own special little herbs that make it go just right for them. So, have an imagination and don't be afraid. I know at least one new witch in particular who I'm thinking about. And I don't know if she'll watch this or not, but I'll post this video up and I'll let her know, because I feel so bad, because whenever I see people who are new on their path and they just don't have confidence, and they don't have imagination because they're afraid of doing something not right, it just makes me, it reminds me of me when I started. And where I am now, I feel completely in my own. I feel completely okay with my power, one with my power, and emboldened by it and empowered by my power. And I want everyone to feel that way when they're starting out, because that's what you're doing. When you give yourself to the idea that you're going to learn magic, you're stepping into your power and you're taking control. You're taking control of your life. You're taking control of your destiny. And if you find something in those cards that you don't like, then you can take control of that. You can take the steps that you need to do to avoid pitfalls. So, I just wanted to put all that out there to the newer witches on their paths. So, that's pretty much it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Many blessings.